happy Saturday. Sunday is pretty much now anyway, so happy Sunday, I guess. I do things a little bit late sometimes, and that has to do with reasons that are beyond my control, it seems, sometimes. But, I appreciate every moment that I'm able to come on here and talk to people and put my head together. And speaking of putting my head together, now I've been doing a lot of research on this new old idea that they have of cutting people's heads open and like busting the bone. For an example, back in the day in medieval times, and this is even known what I'm going to be talking about back in the 5th millennia as well. So way in the beginning of historical records, and when Catholicism became a thing where they would go out there and do stuff with demons inside of people's heads in the way that they actually cured the issues that went on inside of that person's head, and whether it may be a doctor or whether it may be a priest, whether it may be something someone had to just do out of force to will, what's going on with that overall. So back in the day, they used to do something called Trepanning, and we still do it today, but it's more modernized. It's when you crack a hole in someone's skull and you take out like either pieces of it because you had an injury. For an example, the issue started arising when people would go out and start hitting each other on the head with like swords and other weaponry. That's where it was most prominent. That was called metallurgy. Like I say in every video, I don't know how to say that. I did my best. Good job. That's all. And that is the formation of putting two minerals together, so it forms into a new type of mineral, and it is the sciences behind it. And then came blacksmithing, and then the weapons where people were getting hit on the head, and then they had to have little pieces of bone removed, or if they thought there was a demon inside of them, what they would do is take that hole or make a hole in their head and then open it up, and then they would have that chunk of bone, and then they would make a locket out of it. They would make a necklace, and oftentimes people would just hold on to them. When they died, they would be with their piece of skull, and it would be seen as like sacred. It's a part of them anyways. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and I feel like it's probably something that would make sense. Now, I don't know how people would walk around with a hole in their head and with their brain being there and not have it getting infected. And that was a prominent issue back in the day, where people would have infections inside of their skull, and that could have stuff to do with the flesh-eating disease, the skin bacteria, that the bacteria that's eating your dead skin goes inside your brain, starts eating it. You have a severe headache on already top of having a massive headache because that priest wanted to get that demon out of you, because maybe you were seen as a lunatic, you were seen as hysterical. Then they would see you as maybe a component for one of those methods of taking something, cracking it open like with a chisel, and taking that bone piece and make something out of it. I think that's really bizarre and really cool, and that's a piece of history that I found out today. On the other side of that too, metallurgy is something that's really cool, and that started out in the Neolithic after age. So the Neolithic age is where they would start to like farm. I guess when that comes into play, they found that maybe something to do with these rocks, they look similar, maybe we can put them together because they seem to be put together by something else. So I guess they maybe had fires and the rocks were part of it, and they started noticing melting. No one knows really everything in the back how fire started, but as we know, it comes in natural forms, and maybe people just like kept the flame going throughout the days. Thunder, then the lightning came, hit tree, man hit rock with stick, because the wood and the spark coming off of the rock after it made that clacking thunder sound, it would see that spark, which would be the lightning, and then thus igniting the piece of wood. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, so that's really cool. The way that people take out pieces of skull, trepanning, and then putting something on top of it nowadays is really popular, especially if you have a tumor, and they say that even back in the day when you had a tumor that they would do that as well. I always wonder how that would really work. How do you really know someone has like a major tumor? I feel like there weren't many people back in the day that were just like thriving and alive, but who knows? Maybe the natural seed of people were going through each other and everyone was having kids and babies and all of that, and maybe due to other stuff like monarchy, when we went from a matriarchy to a patriarchy, and then all of these wicked things started happening, and we started, doing bad things to each other even more and trying to keep everything. We tried to keep everything pure back in the day, which was, it's just awful. Kingdom come, kingdom go, literally. Pun intended, I guess. And if you liked the video, please like it, subscribe, comment, do check out my other videos. My latest video and my other videos as well too are really cool. They're into like the dark, really about thoughts and ideas that I have, and I just put into one video that I think's really neat for everyone. Stuff like that. Bizarre. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye.